Okay, well, welcome back to the party here, folks. What is it, the February 10th now? Yes, it's February 10th, 2025. Welcome to Central New York. It's another snow day. They actually closed down our local schools here today. I did some measuring, so we had 11 inches in front of the barn, 14 inches behind the barn. This is all areas I cleared yesterday. So I'd say just over a foot. And we got a lake effect snow band coming through. And I feel like making snow angels. Wouldn't that be nice? You gotta laugh. Let's go ahead and cut into some of this snow out here. So, like I've said before, I'm a little tired of the snow. I'm more than a little tired of the snow. And I'm sure everyone out there is getting tired of me making snowblowing videos. So when we get up by one of the statues, my brother Jim texted me a little while ago and he said, geez, I should tell him the story about some of the statues. So I'll do that today. First thing I do is cut a couple of paths here. And if you watch yesterday's video to the end, I just dug down again. We did another original song at the end of the video. And I have a couple of songs I've written recently about feeling a bit older here with all this snow. And I'm getting too close, I'm knocking into my banks here. Dang it. Gotta focus on what I'm doing. So I want to get these paths cut in here so that I can close this door here, because we're going to be getting quite a bit of snow. We'll probably be getting well over a foot this afternoon and tonight. When it's snowing like this, sometimes the sensors on the overhead door behind me, it worked this time. So sometimes I have to try and close it a few times. Well, anyways, you know, I thank God I've got an excellent piece of equipment like this to be able to move the snow, and I've got such great visibility in here. We feel really blessed that we've been able to suit ourselves with equipment that's necessary and get a nice warm house. Started a fire this morning, just a little while ago. I do love our wood stove. That is so nice. It is a Yodel wood stove. I've shown that before, and I really love the fire starter, the waxed, what do they call them? Makeup rounds, I guess they call them. I can't remember what they're called right now. But man, it's so easy to start the fire nowadays, and driving the birds out of the big bush here. Trying not to fill it up with snow. Right in front of us here is one of our granite eagles. So when I was still working at the emergency critical care hospital, I was the guy who did the critical care work. And it has, you know, there's during the daytime surgeon and internal medicine. So I did, as an internist, I did the internal medicine cases. These are veterinary cases I'm talking about. And, but you know, I spent so many years working on our home here. And when I say our home, I'm not just talking about the building, it's about the whole infrastructure, our farm, everything that we built and created here. And I had the fortunate opportunity to travel. Although I'm not much of a traveling person, I'm more of a homebody. But I had the opportunity, I was offered opportunities for speaking engagements or for reviewing new drugs that were coming out on the market, that sort of thing. So in a referral hospital, the specialists sometimes will have our community continuing education for general practitioners, and so the pharmaceutical companies and other dog food companies as well. Mostly the pharmaceutical companies would fly us out to a location, set us up in a beautiful hotel or conference center, and try to persuade us how great their product is or was. And when I'd go to those locations, I'd always go to, bear with me here as I'm trying to get up in here. I'd always take advantage of either going to an aquarium, a botanical gardens, museums, that sort of thing. Instead of going out and paling with people, I wanted to, well, experience the things that I enjoy in life. Nature and continuing education other than veterinary medicine. And I got to be absolutely impressed with, you know, like the botanical gardens that we're going to, or large aquariums and all, and museums, and see some of the displays. Very, very impressive. And it was like a paradise in a sense, that they create these locations for people to travel to and enjoy their time in these locations. And Thea and I have always been fans of artists. We have to change this shoot angle here. Let's throw the snow a little bit further. So it looks like we got about 14, 15 inches over here. Try to squeeze through, or more. Of course, just trying to tease through this area. So each time I'd go to these locations, I would say, geez, you know, they have beautiful statues, whether they're carved wood or stone or marble, you know, granite. I'd see those, and it just felt so comforting for me, you know, the different animals that I'd see, like carved elephants, carved eagles, carved bears, bronze elephants, all those sorts of things. So when we got back here, I saw an ad. So meanwhile, I'm still working in my career, and I saw an ad in Syracuse. Somebody was selling statues and all. And so that eagle that we just saw a few minutes ago on the one on the blocks pedestal that I put it on, I'm backing up next to it now. Right to our left there. So I went ahead and bought that from a local, I guess, a distributor, a sales, a store in a sense, that they specialize in concrete statues and marble. Well, I don't think they had any marble, but they had granite, concrete there. So I got that one, and out by Pond 4, there's a couple of fish statues and turtle statues, those sorts of things. I can't remember, a whole bunch of things like that. And I liked them a lot, and they are expensive. But ultimately, as you look around, you'll see some of the lions and elephants, marble, Egyptian limestone, lions and tigers and elephants and eagles and fish. Well, those all came from another location that I found out about, and an import company in Pennsylvania. Well, we got quite a bit of snow right in here. Slow right down some. And this import place, it took over a castle. Yes, a castle. A beautiful stone castle. And they had all of these, all sorts of beautiful items that mainly were imported from China. And in China, they have this whole system, from the quarries to the people who rough out the blocks, to the apprentices that work on statues, to the real artisans, the real sculptors that take over. And they use modern equipment. Everything isn't just chisels. They use grinders and saws and all. But these guys are real artists. And so, what was this? This was probably, I think it's right about 2008, maybe just before that. So I was looking at some of that, and the whole import regulations coming from China and shipping charges, everything was going crazy around the time. I think it was the 2008 time period that I got all of the other statues that you see around the property. I really don't remember the specific circumstances, but I could get them at a fraction of what they go for now, or prior to that time. So, in my mind's eye, I knew what I wanted and where I wanted these statues on the property. Just to, as I'm getting ready to work on the ponds and different settings on the property, I just wanted to have those items there to give us a sense of our own little paradise. And people often ask, well, why didn't you go with native species from this area? Like a black bear or whatever. And first, they weren't available. And second, I really wanted it to be a lot like a vacation. Just cutting through this, getting real deep in here. Get next to the tree because I've blown a lot of snow right up against the tree there. So, long story short, I guess, or to end this somewhat, it's all a bit about me recognizing early on that I didn't ever foresee myself doing much traveling, and I really wanted to create our own paradise. I wanted it to be a very efficient, self-sustaining place that's all about conservation, but also have some of those exotic influences from other parts of the world, so that I never just focus on what we have here. So that's a bit of the story about the statues and all. Many people have said, did you carve those? And no, I'm not that talented. I've got quite a few skills, but carving stone isn't one of them. But Thea and I have always appreciated fine woodworking, craftsmen, sculptors, artists. Just always appreciated what people can actually create, all forms of art. So this is, if you could see it right now, the amount of snow that's coming down. This is lake effect snow. And believe it or not, a lot of snow can accumulate overnight when it's snowing like this. And if that band of lake effect snow decides it's going to hang right up over us, well, it's going to drop a lot of snow. The great thing about having Optimus Maximus here, this machine, the Kubota Grand L6060 here, with this amazing snowblower, and slow down, I'm really chewing this material up here, is that it's pretty darn comfortable being able to sit in here instead of being out in the open without a cab. Without air conditioning in the summertime, but I'm protected from the elements. So that's my story about the statues. It fulfills me when I'm not able to see all of the wildlife firsthand. And that's one of the reasons for all the cameras. It's not just for security. It's so that we can watch the wildlife. And I tell you, they really depend. When the snow gets this deep and all, they really do depend on us clearing these areas out. So they'll be tracking all through here, going over to the bird feeder every night, late afternoon. And I try to uncover as much grass as I can. Right now I can't. Hate that noisy fan belt. But the temperature, so it's pumping the water pump just fine. And every few days I just put it on a trickle charge overnight just to maintain the battery. And I do thank God this isn't one of our bad winters. I'd probably call this like an average winter so far. You may recall, if you've been watching the videos for a while, I've written my book called Different, and I'm sitting on it right now. I try to wait and figure out how to get it published. But one of the chapters I wrote about was a snow event in 1966 when I was 9 years old. And it was a snowstorm that came in. And I don't remember the details now because it's been a while since I did the research and wrote that chapter in my book about that snowstorm in 1966 that hit Oswego, New York. And that was before we had all the technology we've got nowadays. And that lake effect snow just continued for either 4 or 5 days. I don't remember exactly. But the snow was so deep that people had to get out of their second-story windows. That's how you got out of your home. And it was one heck of a state of emergency. But I gotta say, just like what I've seen after Helene in North Carolina, the locals all turn out and help each other out. And that's what happened in Oswego. Even now, Oswego is a college town. Getting into some real heavy snow here. And all the students got out, and now this is right up on Lake Ontario itself. SUNY Oswego is. That's where Thea and I both did our undergraduate work. And what ended up happening is the students got out and started shoveling out elderly people and all. Everybody pulled together. The military brought down some of their equipment to help move the snow. Other counties came to help. Help move the snow. People brought in farmers brought in all their farm equipment. To help with the snow. Oh, damn it. That was a bang. I'm not sure what it was. I didn't sure pin, did I? Looks to be blowing. So everybody pitched in. Snowmobile clubs all came in, and it took, I think, the better part of a week. Everybody working 24/7 around the clock, trying to get everybody cleared out. Not sure what that bang was, unless I hit my four-way flasher off the side here again. Take the angle of the chute, make it a little bit lower here. Yeah, we got over a foot up in here. Shoot a little bit higher there. Oh well. It's warm in here. I got both side windows open right now. Often one of the things I usually try to do is wait till the snow stops. And with this, there goes the snowplow by right now. And then snow blow. But since we got over a foot, I said, let's get out and get that moved first. Since we're expecting another foot or potentially more, you never know with these snow lake effect snow bands. Hey, they may just stop over your place and drop a real load of snow. And yesterday when I snowblowed, the most recent video that I posted, well, I forgot to make another pass up the driveway. So I'll have another 6 inches besides what I got here. At the end of yesterday's video, for those tenacious people who were stuck right through to the end, there was a song there, like I mentioned, that I wrote within the last 48 hours. And but if you saw in the end of the video, I got out of the Optimus here and went up to the snowblower, and I thought I'd sheared a pin. But it was the pin had actually backed out. The nylon lock nut backed right out of it, unfortunately. I've never seen a nylon lock nut actually unscrew. So I was able to put the bolt back in, 5/16, 18 thread. You can see now the wind's blowing, coming out of the west, and it's blowing to the east. It's picking up a little bit here. I think that's wide enough down here. Make a couple passes here. Let's get that up a little bit higher. By taking the diverter and really making it shoot up higher in the air, it really goes much further. I don't see any more major limbs down right now. Someone not too long ago had asked me, do I get much reactions to the Cybertruck? And yes, all the time. I'm so used to driving that truck now. We took the Model Y out yesterday to take it to go to the car wash. Just wanted to take pictures of it in case we do trade it in for the new Model Y, as opposed to selling it outright. And around here, everything gets salt and dirt on it like crazy during the winter months. So took it over, got it washed, and that is really a fantastic vehicle to drive. Absolutely fantastic. However, I'm so used to the Cybertruck now with the steer-by-wire, the rear wheel steering, and I'm used to driving it, so I'm very comfortable knowing where everything is. Just making sure I'm not running into one of these. That's a lion right here. You can't see it's over 4 foot above the ground, but it's under snow right now. But I'm just so comfortable driving the Cybertruck now, and man, I'll tell you, that full self-driving, it's so addictive. It's so good right now, and I still don't have the latest version. The last video that I think I did with the Cybertruck showing full self-driving, I showed 13.2.2, which was very good. The version I'm operating now is 13.2.4. Just a little bit of an improvement, but boy, what a difference. You know, the massive compute training that they do at Tesla, and then download the latest version so that the vehicle, it's just amazing. I mean, handling you know, completely snow-covered roads, not a problem. Or at least it hasn't been since this latest update. And even when our roads have, a lot of the times when you live around here, people will tend to drive, sorry, I'm focusing on trying to avoid hitting things. People will tend to drive towards the middle of the road, and because that's where most of the asphalt can be seen. But with full self-driving, it doesn't drive down the middle of the road. It drives in your lane, even though the whole right side, where your right wheels will be, is just almost like a sheet of ice. And the traction in that truck is perfect. I've never had a vehicle that even with full self-driving, it's safer than I am. The lion right behind me here. Well, it looks like even deeper snow over here. So anyways, yes, I do get positive and negative feedback, especially now. So many people hate Elon, and therefore they're going to hate any Tesla. It's a shame, but that's the way people are. And so I'm just so thankful for the Teslas that we own. Very, very thankful. We're the luckiest people around. They're so efficient, they're so safe, and they're just plain an amazing and enjoyable drive wherever you're going. More of a ride with full self-driving. And they just keep improving them over time. I'll make a video about the one fault I've had so far with the Cybertruck, with the windshield wiper. And some people are discovering that, but you know, up here where we are, you know, even though it may stop snowing, there's going to be trucks salting and sanding the road. And if you're close to the vehicles in front of you, one of the things that's going to happen is you're going to get salt and sand up on your windshield. That's why I try to stay back as far as I can, but with full self-driving, I let it manage. You know, the proximity to the people in front of us. And yeah, this is definitely deeper than a foot right here. So that salt and sand with this massive windshield wiper blade, and it has little pores all the way through it. I don't ever want to have to buy a replacement blade for that, but I will. I'm sure it's going to be expensive. But there's just a single wiper blade on the Cybertruck. It's very aerodynamic. It does a really, really good job until there's enough sand and salt on your windshield that the blade sits on top of some of that sand and salt. So in a traditional vehicle, your washer pores, so your windshield washer is going to have a couple of jets that come up and hit the windshield, and the wiper blade is tight to the windshield, and it does a really good job of cleaning it. Whereas with a single wiper blade on the Cybertruck, that's like 3.5, maybe 4, yeah, I should measure it and see just how long it is. But it's the biggest sucker you've ever seen as far as a windshield wiper blade. And those tiny particles, the most minute particles of salt and sand, once your windshield gets coated, the wiper blade doesn't have enough downward force to maintain tight adherence to the windshield itself. So like most windshield wiper blades, you have a central point where the force of the arm that holds the wiper is right in the center about, and that's where the most downward force is. And with a standard wiper blade, they have an arm, an arch that comes out, and it distributes more of that downward force over the whole length of that blade, or most of the length of the blade. A couple little arches in it to make it really efficient. And they work good until there's some ice on it, then you got to get out and get the ice off it. Haven't had any of the ice issues with the Cybertruck blade, but because the downward force is about midway in this massive blade, there isn't as much force towards the top where I look out because I'm tall. And so what I have to remember to do is every time that I get some salt on the windshield. Now I've been out several times and I haven't had enough salt on it or sand on it where the blade is actually riding up on top of the material, and you just get clear streaks where all the little pores of the windshield washer solution pours out of it. So So I'm not sure that I explained that all that well. Well, let's see if we can make it up here. So we're off the crown of the driveway right here. Sliding downhill a little bit, gotta watch the light pedestal here. It's really icy underneath this. Okay, we're back in the groove again. Got a lot of work to do on these driveways, roadways and all. Yeah, we got some snow here. But that Cybertruck just handles it great. And the first thing I was starting to talk about, which I never finished, was some of the reactions I get from people. So some people will cuss at me and give me the middle finger. Other people give me the thumbs up and want to see the truck, really excited. But there's lots of vandalism, people trying to damage people's, Cybertruck owners' trucks. Because I guess that's the big Elon symbol. They aren't doing it as much with the rest of like the Model Y and all. Look at this. Trying to keep up on the driveway here. It wants me to walk right off the driveway. But we're making it. We'll figure this out. That's the problem when your base gets more of a sheet of ice from that freezing rain that we had a while back. And of course there is some drifting in here that I'm dealing with. It's not just the snow accumulation. I hate making any banks on the side because when our winds come out of the west there, that is an issue. Keep sliding off the road onto the side here where there's still rocks over there, so I'm trying to prevent any damage there. Going off that edge some. With this directional chute on this blower, beautiful, I'm able to direct that snow right where it needs to go, right up against my block wall here. So I just really want to slow down a lot as I'm taking out this last little bit here at the top.
Sit down, son, let me tell you a tale about this winding road, sometimes rough as nails. The world's gonna test you, knock you down hard, but you've got the strength, you've got the heart. Every choice you make, every path you take, it won't be easy, but it's yours to shape. Life is what you make it, so make it strong. Stand up tall, even when it feels wrong. Every storm will pass, every night turns light. Keep pushing forward, keep holding tight. I've seen hard times, I've walked through the rain. Worked these hands till they knew the pain. But the sweat, the struggle, the lessons learned built the fire inside that always burned. Every fall you take, every tear you cry, makes you stronger, boy. Just keep your eyes high. Life is what you make it, so make it true. Give it your all, let the best in you shine through. Every dream you chase, every risk you take, it's in your hands, son, don't hesitate. One day you'll stand where I am now, looking back, wondering how. But you'll know deep down through the highs and lows, it was all worth it, every road. Life is what you make it, so make it count. Climb those mountains, rise above the doubt. Every storm will pass, every night turns light. Keep pushing forward, keep holding tight. So go on, son, go chase the sun. The fight ain't easy, but it's worth what you've won. Life is what you make it, so make it yours. Walk with courage, walk through those doors.